Matt, you're going to love my college football pick. I have one play near and dear to your heart.
Let's go.
I'm jumping on the turtle train. You have some gross uniforms, but I'm going to back you anyways.
Let's get cool. To Oregon fan. Tell me more about your gross uniform opinions.
Hello and welcome to Geoff Schwartz's Smarty. Geoff Schwartz Smarty presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. It is Thursday, October 2nd. I am Geoff Schwartz alongside Matt Ford. Matt.
Hey, bud.
I was thinking about this. By the time this comes out, I will be fasting for Yom Kippur, which is Thursday, the second. Have you ever fasted before? Could you make it? It's about 26 hours, no water either, no liquids, no food. About 26 hours.
Yeah, I've done it. It's not my favorite thing, but look at us, man. We're we're in our slimming black tees for the two beautiful husky boys. Like we look great. You don't need to fast. You look tremendous.
I don't know, man. My kids are in Hebrew school, and my son is being bar mitzvah in 2 years, and I don't know. I just feel like I gotta, it's a good example, right? Like I like Yom Kippur, fast a little bit, go to temple, say your prayers and your reflection and you repent for the year and move it along. So if you're listening to this on Friday after your fast, have a good easy fast, have a good fast, and let's get to some football now, Matt.
Well, in your repenting, do you think that we should do any repenting for betting on Bryce Young or the Bills to cover 15.5 points? Like, should that come up in our sort of reflection of how our last year has come and gone?
So we were 2-3 last week.
We should have been 1-4.
The Bills scored 31 points and didn't cover, though. That's the part I didn't like. I think I was right about what Buffalo would do offensively. I thought that Saints would score 14 points. Like that was my miscalculation there. They won 31-19, correct? I think on that 31-19. Had a chance at the end there to score, but just kind of gave up and kicked a field goal and got done with
31-19.
The Panthers, though, I'll tell you what, man. Look at numbers this week. They're going to be the team that's going to. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are, Matt, but they are going to be one that I think we look at throughout the year. So 2-3.
They are on the radar, my friends. They are squarely on my radar.
They are squarely on my radar for this week again. The Rams got home for us. I said this to Gabe the other day. The Spanish language call for the Rams was just incredible last week. I showed it to even my wife, who doesn't even like sports, and she absolutely loved it. So thank you for the Rams. I appreciate that. Chiefs, easy cover.
Easy.
And Tampa Bay fought for us, didn't get home. As we look to this week, the Bucs look good again. We'll talk about all these games. As we do on Thursday, we will start from the beginning, Thursday Night Football, go through all the games this week. There are teams with byes. So we have less games this week, Matt. At the very end, we'll hit on college football. 500 there so far this year. Not great, not terrible. Looking to do a little bit. I got to go back to basics of college football. Too many favorites. I got to go home dogs, as I should do all the time in college football. Chaos is happening now in the sport, or didn't happen for the first couple weeks. We get a conference play, weird things happen. I'll bet on some weird things happening here in a little bit. Let's get to Thursday Night Football, buddy. This is a big number for Thursday Night Football.
There is. The Rams are now laying 7 here in LA to the 49ers. So let's see. That must mean that there's news about Brock Purdy, right? That must mean that we're looking at the banged up Mac Jones, I would imagine.
I haven't seen anything. Here's the thing the only thing I've seen about Purdy is that his toe is sore and that he may or may not play. And part of that is just, this is the thing about playing these Thursday night games. Like, you sometimes just don't have time to your body recover, Matt, from the previous week. And if there's a Sunday game, I don't think there'd even be a question whether or not he would play. But doesn't 7 feel like a lot, even if Mac Jones is in? This series has been really interesting, right? I think 2000, 2001, 2002, 20, 21, and 22, the Niners won all but one of these games. And the one they actually lost was the NFC Championship game when the Rams and Super Bowl won that year. It's flipped. The Rams have won 3 of the last 4 games. Obviously, last year, the Niners were super injured, but the Rams sort of taking this rivalry back over, Matt. And it does feel like a lot of points, though, for the Niners are not bad. I mean, obviously, without Nick Bosa, they're not as good on defense. They have some injuries on offense, but 7 feels like a ton of points.
I mean, it looks like, so I'm reading the latest here. Purdy, non-participant in the walkthrough. This was on Tuesday. So Jones appears to be is appearing to going to start this one. The 49ers, this is just a bad spot. Like, I get why this number is so high. I think there's a chance, like, if Mac Jones is banged up, like he's still dealing with a knee sprain and he's walking into a potential trap here. I just want no part of this. I don't think there's any value in taking the Niners in a game that, if it goes south, like we could be looking at the depth chart for whoever the third string quarterback is there.
Yeah. What I have done actually, by the way, I actually bet on, I did a teaser. I just did a same game teaser. I took the Rams. I moved the total up and bet the under. That's how I play this game.
That's smart. I think I have a question for you. At the beginning of the year, I think I told you this, when we were talking about our teams that, our over-unders and stuff. I had the Rams rated as the second best team in the league in this like weird metric that I created.
Yeah.
And now like we're looking at Philly, like are the Rams possibly the best team in the league right now? Like, I don't think they're getting a lot of buzz because they lost to Philly in that goofy Jordan Davis game, but they should have won that. Obviously, like I kind of think we should sort of be treating them with a little bit more respect, and that this 7 actually like kind of makes sense, especially if it gets the backup. But I think the Rams might be the best team in the league right now.
Better than Philly. I guess first half against Philly. What about the Lions right now? No, Buffalo. There's some candidates I think for best team in the league. Rams are one of the candidates. We were both high on the Rams. The problem was Stafford's injury, right? That was the only problem, Matt, as we didn't know how he was going to be this year. So far, he's good. He's getting better each week as he's getting more reps, right? Week 1 was a little bit tough. He didn't play all preseason. Now it looks like the offense is in rhythm. Puka Nacua has like 1,000 targets and receptions. And they're better than the Niners, especially with how beat up the Niners are. A short week. Niners are on the road now. I like Brian Robinson over 19.5 rushing yards on DraftKings as of right now. Again, short week. How much will McCaffrey be able to go just realistically, right? So he's not hurt at all, Matt, but again, older player, short week. Brian Robinson probably a little fresher, an opportunity there to get some carries in this game. So the over 19.5 on DraftKings right now is something that I'm looking to play. Again, I did play that same game teaser. I took the Rams yesterday from 6.5 down to half a point. Took the total. It was at 47.5, now 46.5, up to 53.5, and hit the under on that as well. So that's how I'm playing this game, and I think that that would be a wise way to do it if you really want to get down on Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I like that you have action. Yes. Yeah, I think the Rams probably win. It's just I don't know. I don't feel great about taking San Francisco getting points there.
No.
All right. Speaking of a game that no one feels good about, the Vikings. I don't know if you knew this, but if you start Carson Wentz, you actually have to stay abroad. They force you to go international. So now the Vikings are based in Europe. So they're playing there for a second week in a row, and they're hosting playing Dylan Gabriel and the Browns. This line has moved all over the place. I was really hoping it would stay lower by the time we got to record today. It is now at 4.5 for the Vikings. And I'm still tempted to take Minnesota, but it was 3.5 this morning.
I saw 3.5. I know. I saw 3.5 this morning. I was doing my research, Matt. This is when I was eyeing to pick the Vikings here, even though we have a strict don't bet on Carson Wentz policy. He posed terrible the other day. The Browns are a mess. Like Gabriel, look, I hope he does well, Matt, but I don't think he is a quarterback in the NFL that elevates their team, right?
Correct.
He is a quarterback that's going to just complete the ball, who's ever open, short, underneath, intermediate. You're not going to really be stressed out, especially against this Vikings defense, Matt. This feels like a very tough start for him to make. You mentioned the Vikings have stayed in London, right? And overseas. They played Ireland last week. They're staying in London, I believe, right? They went back. Well, I don't know where they're staying. They've been over there for the entire time. The Browns are flying over there later in the week, and it's a very tough start for a rookie to face this Flores defense, especially off a loss, right, when they didn't play terribly well last weekend. It's not up right now because it's, as we record this on Wednesday, Dylan Gabriel under passing yards. I don't care what it's at. It's going to be like 187 yards. I don't care. Give me the under. I'm going straight under in this game from him. I think it's a tough contest. We'll put Minnesota as a maybe. But yeah, I mean, 3.5 would have been a lot better. I just, again, playing these international games, I tried to skip them, Matt. We know that they're weird. And yeah, I try to skip them. I did win on Pittsburgh last week because I faded. It was like, dude, the fade game was strong last week. It's back. Last year, there was so much public winning that I lost money on the people that I fade. And this weekend, college football in the NFL, it went. I went 10-0 fading them. They didn't win a single pick. It was great.
That's
I may or
terrific.
may not have faded someone who bragged about their record the previous week in college football. And then I faded said person that gave out 6 wagers, Matt. I put him in a round robin parlay of 4s, and they lost all 6 wagers. So I made a substantial amount of money on Saturday night. It was Oregon won, and then I won this parlay that paid out. I
feel like you're telling me about a dream you had right now.
I put in.
Sounds great.
I think I put in 225 and I won 2,500. So I'll.
Wow, nice.
Thank you for the thank you for the fades. I appreciate
Here's
that. And one of them was. Oh yeah, I'm in. One of them was the Steelers game was one of the ones I faded because they had the Vikings. I was like, oh, you're wagering on this game at 9:00 in the morning and on Carson Wentz. Good luck on that. So that was awesome for me as well. I'll pay for food next time. Well, no, Gabe pays because it's under the Blue Duck. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, maybe. Back to Vikings Browns for just a second here. I do want to point out I get why we don't want to bet a game like this. I think you're right in everything you said that the Vikings, they've obviously got this advantage of having been over there. I just feel like the Browns are at a different point in their season now when they're playing Gabriel. Like if this was Flacco, I'd probably at least have some concern that the Browns could cover this number. But they're not trying, they're seeing what they've got in this guy, right? Like they're putting him in a really difficult situation. They are not trying to win this game, or else they would probably stick with their current quarterback, right? And the other thing that's just kind of noteworthy, that's kind of crazy, is the Browns, since 2023, I just picked a random year, they're actually above 500 at home. They're 11-8 at home, and they're 4-16 on the road. And I guess this isn't technically a road game, but it is an overseas game. And I think that for whatever reason, defensively, their identity, maybe it's their preparation, whatever, they're just not as good not when they're not at home. So I actually think this is a pretty decent play, even if it does mean I have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to watch Carson Wentz. I don't know about that.
No, 6:30.
6:30. Okay.
Yeah, unless
I'm awake anyway.
Yeah, you're awake anyways. So we'll do maybe because I don't look a ton this week. So
yeah, God, that's a lot of talk of Dylan Gabriel versus
I know.
Wentz. Well, let's move on to another Titanic quarterback matchup of Spencer Rattler and Jackson Dart. The Saints. It kind of feels like this is their moment. They're favorites for probably the last time this year. They're actually now laying 1.5 to the Giants. I can't imagine we have a side here, but the floor is yours if you've got one.
Yeah, I don't really know why the Saints are a favorite. But okay, so if I tell you if I tell you a game is even money, which is basically what this is, right? Because they're saying on neutral field it's probably about even. Wouldn't you want one side to have something that's elite, right? To choose a side. If I told you to pick a game straight up, right? You'd be like, okay, the Giants have one elite thing in this game, and that's their pass rush and their defensive line. It's an elite defensive line. That's it. No one else has anything else in this game that's overly elite, except the Giants' defensive line. That alone, I think, can get them to win and cover this game. Now, of course, Jackson Dart making his first road start. It's not a spot that I really want to back the Giants, Matt, but I do think the Giants are better than the Saints. And then they're better, plus they have their defensive line. Now, Neighbors being out is a huge problem. So I don't think you wager on the Giants, Matt, but I think they are the better team. And I don't think home field advantage matters very much. It's not going to be very loud or packed in this game. There'll be a ton of Giants fans, I would imagine, that live in the South. They're coming to this game. But it's Jackson Dart's first road start, which is certainly different than being at home. Yep. He's a little beat up. I hurt his hamstring last week. We don't know the status of how healthy he is, and his legs were great. And the other thing, too, I want to bring up is, look, I understand there was excitement because Jackson Dart is not Russell Wilson. Okay? I get that. But the way that media has talked about him, Matt, it was a little aggressive for how he played. He was 13 of 20 for 111 yards. Yeah. He rushed for an additional 54 yards in that touchdown, obviously, that went for 15 yards. They're talking about him like he is the next great Hall of Fame quarterback. His PR people deserve all the credit in the world for how we talk about him. He wasn't that good. He was fine against a Chargers team that couldn't do anything because their offensive line is so beat up right now. So I think that we just pass on this game, even though I think the Giants are the better team.
Well, and not only that, he left the game. He was injured, and like there's
a
a lot of talk
though,
about but it's like can that style even hold up? I think they're dying. I think our friends at DraftKings are just dying for Giants money. I think that's what this line is, because no one who's going to take the Saints as a favorite. I think they feel pretty confident in the 1.5. But having said that, I definitely do not want to bet on the Saints. But this one caught my attention a little bit more than I would have liked to admit. Because what is this team without Neighbors? And the Saints, if they're going to win a game, it's going to be this one. It's going to be at home. We're 5 weeks into the year. They've appeared competent at times. They hung with Buffalo for 3 quarters. Like, they're not a bad team, and I mean, they are a bad team, but they're a professional team. But I think that's a pass. God, we've got to pick up our pace a little. Maybe this is one. The Raiders at the Colts. The Colts are laying 7. I kind of feel like the Colts might be the side here, but
really?
I mean, they're just.
Oh, I would have said Raiders.
Okay, well, go ahead. I mean, I just think the Colts.
My case is mostly that the Raiders essentially like have to win this game, or that's the end of Pete Carroll's first season of like any sort of success, right, Matt? And last week they should have won that game, right? Genti got going a little bit, which was great to see. He hadn't really got going yet, so he started running the ball a little bit better and sort of got in a flow of things. Dude, one take I'm absolutely right about is Geno Smith. I did not understand. I still don't understand. Like, there is a big difference in Geno Smith believers between like the analytics crew that's like, his EPA is really high, and like the film guys are like, it's fine, I guess. Like, there's a lot of people that love Geno Smith. He's not been good, which is what I thought. He wasn't going to be good. I mean, the Seahawks jettisoned him and brought Sam Darnold, who's playing well, right? So I'm concerned about them on the road here, Matt, but this is sort of like the last hurrah for them. 7 points is a lot in the NFL. It's a lot of points. Are the Colts 7 points better than the Raiders? Really, Matt?
No, I think you might have talked me into it, actually. Full touchdown, the Geno indoors thing. The Raiders have just had like a rough stretch here. They're not very good, but I agree. This kind of is their last stand. They obviously got Genti going last week. Given the rest of the slate this week, we might have to bump this into the maybes, to be honest.
The look ahead line for this game was 1.5. It's 7 now.
Wow. I think we got to pencil the Raiders, buddy. I think I don't think that's a bad play.
I did. I put him in the maybes.
Done. Great. Didn't think we'd get there. I mean, I think I just am sort of walking back. I was pretty bullish on the Raiders coming into this season, but they've just looked so miserable in the last couple of weeks. Honestly, though, like the Bears game, like they definitely could have won that one. Their offensive line at least kept Genti upright last week.
Yeah,
maybe they'll turn it around here. Okay, I'm down with that one. Let's definitely put that one through. Denver at Philly is next. Philly with an impossible 3.5 number here. Denver, I guess, looked impressive Monday night, or maybe it was just that Cincinnati is just that terrible.
Yeah,
I think I'm leaning Philly here, but I'm curious where you are.
I think Philly's the play, man.
Yeah.
I think it is. Like the Broncos offensively, a lot of it feels like the passing game, a little smoke and mirrors at times, right? Where they're not getting a ton from a traditional passing game. It's the play action pass, right? And sort of targeted areas to throw the ball. Run the football, they're fine. Their offensive line is fine, but it's not been great. And they just played a bad ability. Their defense, by the way, again, has not been what is advertised, right? What he thought it was going to be, Matt. And the Eagles are freaking good, dude. Like, all they do is win. Yeah. And I know we need them to cover this game too, but I think the Eagles are just much better. Broncos on the road now on a short week. I like Philly here minus 3.5.
Denver's strength too is that they take away, the passing game. They're good at getting pressure. They're good. Their corners are great. Philly's not throwing the ball, and they're winning without throwing the ball. So I think, I don't think the game plan is super complicated. Denver weirdly hasn't won in Philadelphia since John Elway was the quarterback. That feels no.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they used to play once every 8 years in Philly. So like that they've only played. Do I have that 5 times since then?
Sure, like 1 and 6 all time. So yeah, that's fair enough.
There you go. Yeah.
Still a dramatic stat. You didn't have to undercut me there. I thought that was a pretty good stat. It's not like I came up with the stat, by the way. It was our friend Evan Abrams at Action Network. I just think that what the Broncos do well.
Do we know by Evan Abrams like a Christmas gift, like a holiday gift at some point?
Yeah, maybe I'll text him the next time you're doing an extended monologue and see what he wants. Because I use his information on every show, including this one. Tomorrow I'll use it again. Shout out to our friend Evan. Okay, let's put Philly through. I think that's a good play.
Wait, what are you doing tomorrow without me?
What do you mean?
You just said you're going to use it tomorrow. What show are you doing without me?
To prepare for our friend Nick Wright's show.
He
does his gambling show, and we help him make his picks.
He's an Evan Abrams guy as well.
I don't know if Nick knows that. Nick, if you're watching, that's where all these great ideas come from. Why would you think they were my own anyway? All right. Well, speaking of Nick, he was very happy about his Chiefs beating the Baltimore Ravens last week. Lamar Jackson currently doubtful. This line, man, keeps moving. I think the Ravens were favored by 9 as when this opened, and now they're plus 1.5 at home to Houston. And this has moved even today. Like it went from, the Texans were short dogs, but go ahead. It sounds like you've got a side here.
Well, no. So here's a tweet from someone covering the Ravens. Ready? From today. This is Wednesday. Ravens not taking part in open practice today. Lamar Jackson, Roquan Smith, Ronnie Stanley, Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, and then Patrick Ricard is also out as well. It doesn't count all the guys in injured reserve, Matt. They're a mass unit right now. The thing about those, the Texans just suck. I'm not betting on the Texans. I'm not betting on the Texans. I'm just not. I'm not. I'm not doing it. I just refuse to bet on them. Matt, it was 9-0 against the Tennessee Titans, like in the third quarter of that game. Fourth quarter, it was 6-0. 6-0 entering the fourth quarter against Tennessee Titans, and they scored a touchdown, to make it 26-0. I'm not betting. If anything, I bet on the Ravens in this spot.
Me too. It's like they could still give the ball to Derrick Henry 50 times. Like that's still possible.
Correct.
Like they could still throw it to Andrews. They still like their defense. Sure, their defense is in pieces, but like, what's Houston gonna do? I look this earlier today. This was, or maybe it was yesterday. The Ravens were slight home favorites. So it was like 2 or 3. And I was like, maybe we take the Texans. But now I think the value is only on the Ravens. And I'm just gonna double check one more time to make sure it hasn't moved. Yeah, it's still 1.5.
Yeah. And I think like the thing is Baltimore's body language I didn't like, Matt, during that game, and I don't know if it's getting much better with all the guys out this week. Like it could just be an ugly game for that reason. So we stay away from this game, in my opinion. But I would definitely not take Houston.
Yeah, I think we have to stay away. But this is highly on my radar to take Baltimore if this line keeps moving. Okay, still moving through the 1:00 games. Browns at Lions, I think, is what we have next. Let me see. Or wait, that's just different. Sorry. I'll take that one again. Well, the next one we've got is Cowboys at Jets. Jets are 2.5-point home dogs. Man, Dallas coming off of an emotional high. What do you think here?
Well, I like the over 47.5. No, the Cowboys can't stop anybody, right? Oh man, jeez. I feel like they're just tempting us with a 2.5. Like they're just like
which side?
It's not. I think at 2.5, they want you to take the Cowboys, right?
Yeah. They definitely want you to take Dallas, and I feel like I'm walking right into the trap by thinking it's not a bad idea. And I'm really unimpressed with the Jets, man. Like, I don't know what they do well.
So here's the thing. They do nothing well, and they're super undisciplined, and they're super penalties, poor play, lack of what feels like any sort of discipline or like cohesive plan of what they're doing. You made this point many times, Matt. Is Aaron Glenn a good defensive coach? And they have good defensive players. They're playing poorly on defense, though, right? Like if you have a specialty as a head coach, you need that side to be playing well. Ben Johnson's an offensive guy. The offense is coming along in Chicago, right? Aaron Glenn's a defensive guy. He's in charge of defense. I believe it, right? They look bad. They're not playing well. And The Cowboys, we know offensively can move, right? They're going to score a ton of points. Number one in the NFL in yards per game, and number 32 in giving up in defensive yards per game. They're terrible in defense. So, what are the Jets going to do offensively? I mean, Fields looked bad. He had the one, obviously, nice rush on a broken play against the Dolphins. I don't know, man. Dallas is a maybe, probably, but I don't know if I could play it though.
Yeah, Justin Fields. This is incredible. When his opponent scores more than 20 points, Fields is 0-25 straight up. So if
that's surprising.
I mean, he's right in the middle, and this Jets team just feels dead to me. It's a good spot technically, but this is kind of where Dak has just done well. Off of night games, the Cowboys are 6-1 straight up as a road favorite off of a night game since 2019. Interesting stat. So they know how to win games in this spot. I think the book here is saying take the Jets, but if we've learned anything from the last couple of years, it's that you just don't trust these home dogs blindly like we used to.
I know.
So Dallas feels a little square to me, but
I feel like in other years this would have been 3, giving us the 3, and there's not doing it this year.
Why isn't this higher? Why isn't this 3.5? Are people that enamored with Fields? I don't know. I've never seen it.
Out on the Cowboys, maybe?
I don't know, man. I don't know. This feels like a stay away to me. There's something off. That's just a really fishy line, I think.
I'm fine to stay away.
Okay. Here's one I think, unfortunately, Jeff, we're gonna.
Oh, jeez.
The Miami Dolphins are 1.5 point road favorites to anyone in the NFL, and that includes your Carolina Panthers. I think we have to do it, buddy. I don't want to. I don't even want to talk about this, but I think, are we like the Dolphins without Tyreek Hill in an opposing stadium, we're going to say are better than 4.5 points better than the Panthers? What are we talking about?
Yeah, and I guess the theory is, of course, with us in this plays, I'm sure Evan has a stat on this. Like, you get beaten by 30 the week before, you typically play well the next week. Like, that's
what if you beat a team by 30 the week before that? How does that work?
So let's think about Carolina, right? Like, so they were down 27-3 to Arizona, scored 19 straight points, lost 27-22. Then they beat the Falcons 30-0, and then got absolutely throttled by the Patriots 42-13. Really, it was 42-7, right? It was 42-6 before Andy Dalton came in and scored late for the Panthers there. I don't know what they are, man. I don't know what they are. And they got to figure that out. And it's not good right now. But the Dolphins, we know what the Dolphins are. They're not very good, right? They let the Jets come back and nearly cover that game there. I had them Jets on a teaser. It was nice. Thank you, Jets, for coming back and scoring late. One thing worth noting is not up right now, but the Dolphins allow the most yards to tight ends this season. They've allowed a ton of yards. Mason Taylor had a bunch the other day. So when the numbers come up for whoever the Panthers tight end is, I should know this. I don't. Bet the over for that player. And without
who's their tight end?
I think it is. Without I think it's Trumbull. Yeah. Without and without Tyreek Hill in offense, like where's the explosiveness from the Dolphins offense? Like, it's Waddle is a good player, but he's not Tyreek Hill, like, explosive down the field. Like, Waddle's more of the slot guy, right? The horizontal player. Yeah. Who's the vertical player on this offense? And the answer is nobody. Nobody. Now, the Panthers, again, identity-wise, have no identity, but you're basically backing them off the worst game of the year at home against the Dolphins, who are off a short week. They won a game finally. I'm okay with playing Carolina here as well.
Yeah, I mean, I hate it, but I think we have to. They also, I believe this has moved a bit. Like, I think the Panthers were originally short favorites, and it's moved. So you always like to bet against the team that goes through the zero and becomes the favorite. Weirdly, Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel's been incredible as a road favorite. 7-2 as an away favorite, just straight up since he got there. Or wait, no, that's the wrong year. I actually think he might be undefeated. So yeah, they've been really good in this spot.
He's due for a loss, Matt. That's the way I look at it.
There we go. He's due. I don't know. We have to at least advance this one, but I absolutely hate it.
We do.
I think we
all
need
right.
like a palate cleanse before we get to the 4 o'clocks.
We'll take a break. If you're watching us, stay tuned. We'll be back in a second. Audio will be back after this short break. All right, we're back. Geoff Schwartz, Matt Ford. We have the afternoon slate. We have 2 AFC big dogs playing night games this week, and then we'll get to college football. Matt, you're gonna love my college football pick. I have one play near and dear to your heart.
Let's go.
I'm jumping on the turtle train.
Raise high the black and gold. Let's go.
You have some gross uniforms, but I'm going to back you anyways.
Let's get cool, to Oregon fan. Tell me more about your gross uniform opinions.
Okay.
Why don't we talk about gross? Go ahead.
First of all, we have excellent uniforms. Excellent uniforms. Continue on with the NFL, please.
Speaking of hideously disgusting, the Arizona Cardinals are 7.5-point favorites to the Tennessee Titans. Must we?
Please. I don't know. I was going to say pass. Continue.
No. Must we discuss this? There's no chance we're betting the Cardinals, and
no chance.
I am forbidding us to bet on the Titans ever again.
Yeah.
Until Brian Callahan is replaced.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Which might
Bill's
be this
probably
week.
Gone too.
Yeah.
And they're like replacing more play callers and doing all this crazy stuff. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Bucs Seahawks. This number fascinates me.
3.5. The Seahawks are home. So, a mash unit in Tampa that's kind of underrated. I mean, Baker's shaking some stuff off. Obviously, the receiving core, there's a lot going on there. And then Bucky Irving looks like he might miss some time. And he's been fantastic for them. But am I crazy to still like Tampa anyway?
I like Tampa a lot in this game, Matt. And the thing here's the thing. So Seattle's one of these teams that's like, I was looking at some stuff like, I gotta renew my. I gotta call over to get my DVOA account renewed, essentially to look at the DVOA stuff. But the thing is, I've seen analytic wise, Seattle's doing a great job, right, Matt? I think the number EPA, DVOA, all that stuff is really high, but I just don't know if they're that as good as the numbers. Like they feel like a team that is gonna be a team that we readjust just throughout the season more and more, Matt. And we know JSN is really good, right? We know they have good running backs. Darnold's been good. I don't know if he's been great. Their offensive line is at times good and bad. Like there's a little, they're fine. Defensively, again, they're fine. To me, I think they're just fine. Like they're not exceptional at one thing. And Tampa does miss Mike Evans, but they return Tristan Wirfs.
So huge.
I just think I think if these teams were to play on neutral field in the middle of the country, I'd much rather be backing Tampa Bay than backing Seattle. And
me too.
I get 3.5, which does sort of worry me here. Why is it 3.5? You're telling me that, again, this game neutral field is 1.5? Seattle's favored by 1.5 or a point maybe? I think home field now is 2, Matt, more than 3 in the NFL. But still, I get that hook here. I think Tampa's is better. It's that simple.
I love this one. This was my favorite of the week. Obviously, the concern, Seattle's got the extra rest, Tampa's beat up, whatever. The thing that we really haven't seen much of is we haven't seen bad Darnold yet. And the way that bad Darnold happens, I mean, you look at their schedule, the Cardinals, the Saints, the Steelers, the 49ers that they lost to, not exactly a murderer's row. This is a different kind of defensive line. And I know they have some injuries with Kancey and they've all over the field, frankly, but they're going to have to deal with a lot of pressure right up the middle. It made Jalen Hurts super uncomfortable last week with a much better offensive line, even with their injuries in Philly. I just think this is one of those where it's Sam Darnold's he's running for his life because the pocket's collapsing immediately. And, when they're not able to incorporate both the running backs, get time for Darnold to throw, things can look a lot different. And Tampa, they're coming off every game they're in it. So, even if we're down 20 points in the fourth quarter, I think we still have a chance. Baker 15-8 is an underdog, but it speaks for itself. Every week you watch Tampa sort of bridge a big gap.
That is one thing they do battle like crazy.
Yeah,
they fight, and they're a team that when we talk about these teams as we go through this list, we're gonna have to let's say Carolina's down a touchdown, 6 points. Let's say like that. We're oh please, Bryce, get this done. Tampa Bay, I'm like, yeah, we got it. Like when you
Yeah.
watch them play, even last week, like we were texting, the Eagles and the Eagles game, like we got, like we thought they would score. It's what they've done all season long. It's what Baker always does. Didn't work out. It happens. They were the wrong side if they were to cover that game anyways. But there's always faith with what they can do. So I'm fine back in Tampa here. Good quality team. We know what their quarterback is. We know what their team is, and I'm fine backing them here.
I think they're due for a statement too. Like you look back now, and it's like they nudged the Falcons, they snuck past the Texans, they snuck past the Jets, they lose to Philly. Like I kind of feel like this is the game where they come out and put an ass kicking on a good team, and everyone's like, "Whoa, Tampa! Didn't know you had it in you." So I like Tampa, and it's a fun money line play.
Okay.
Plus 145 on DK. Okay, Lions Bengals. 10.5 points for the Lions as road favorites. Wow, that's quite a steep line.
No.
Man. No, of course not. You can't take either side here, but like, man, that is crazy. Who would have thought?
The Bengals they're bad, man. They can't block. The backup quarterback can't play defense. The Lions, we should take them last week. That was the better bet than the Bills, I think. But the Lions are likely to win this game by a lot of points. That's my take.
Yeah, that's a pretty good take. I mean, there were these rumors that maybe they're going to talk about. There have just been trade rumors. Mike Florio reporting Cincinnati showed interest in trading for Russell Wilson, maybe Jameis Winston. Do you think that would actually matter? Do you think Browning is the problem, and one of these guys could come in and at least give them a chance?
No. Chance for what? I think because the Baltimore's playing so poorly, they can win the division. They think that's what we're taking right here, I guess. Speaking about that, Matt, because Pittsburgh is off this week, so we're not going to actually get to their games. Pittsburgh to win the division. And any thoughts on adding that to the portfolio?
No, I don't buy it at all.
It's funny because it was plus 155. Now, it was nearly 270 2 days ago on DraftKings. So people are hammering that right now. It's minus 135 for the Ravens. I think we can actually get on the Ravens right now.
The Ravens are minus money still? That is crazy. I was going to make the case.
It was minus 200 the other day.
Yeah, I mean, it was minus 500 at the beginning of the season or something. I mean, I still think Lamar is apparently trying to play this week. If he does play, they'll beat the Texans, and then all of a sudden they're a game back. So I just think every dollar spent on the Steelers is just a loss. But I hate the 135. I mean, that's I don't see any value in that.
You can get you can put the Bills to win the AFC East. Who's winning the South, you think?
Well, I was going to bring that up as if we're going to talk divisions, because the Jags at plus 130 feels like a decent bet if we don't believe in the Colts, which I definitely don't.
So if we wanted, this is just for fun. So Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Jaguars, 10-1 parlay right now to win the division.
Why don't we just take the Chiefs plus 150? Like, have we done that yet?
Add more Chiefs? We have the Chiefs. I think we had them in the preseason. We can add more. I don't care. Or add more Chiefs.
I don't know.
We did not do Chiefs to win the division. So we did. Minus 115. You want to add some more Chiefs division? I'm fine with that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
we have $1,200 still left.
We could do that. We could do Baltimore. I mean, we can do Pittsburgh. I don't buy it at all. I think Pittsburgh is going to fall apart.
Okay, so the other idea was if we don't want to do Pittsburgh, it's not up right now actually. Was Tomlin Coach of the Year, but as we're talking right now, the awards markets are down. Coach of the Year was like 18-1, Matt. If they win the division, he's up for Coach of the Year, and he hasn't won Coach of the Year yet. So, why don't we do this? Why don't we put 100 on Kansas City plus 150 to win the division? We'll do it that. We'll add to the portfolio there on that one, and let's move along to the next game. I'm going to introduce this next game because it's the Commanders at the Chargers. It's your Commanders playing the Chargers, and we were talking before the show about whether or not you're going to go this game. And I understand that getting from where you live in Santa Monica to SoFi Stadium is not very fun. But the Chargers don't come to Los Angeles very often. I mean, the Commanders don't come to LA very often. man, I feel like you gotta find a way to get there. I mean, you have to go with Hank though. You have to go. It has to be a Blue Duck production. Both Commanders fans going to the game, and just enjoying watching your boys play the Chargers.
Look, man, we would probably have to clear that with a few of the shows that we make on Mondays, but it's not a bad idea. I really went back and forth. I was going to get tickets about a month ago, actually, and then it was right when the Packers game happened and Jaden got banged up. I was like, look, I love this team, but I'm not going to watch Marcus Mariota lose by 15.
That's fair.
But it looks this was a good spot from Hank and others on Twitter today. Jaden Daniels' mom said she's going back to California this weekend because Jaden's going to play. He did get cleared at practice. And am I crazy to think that if we're catching a 3 here for Jaden Daniels against pretty much anybody, including this Chargers offensive line that's pretty banged up, that it might not be a bad play to take Washington here?
I think if Daniels is back, we take Washington plus the 3, Matt. The Chargers offensive line is a problem. And they've allowed 45 pressures the last 2 games, Matt. 45. The next highest is Joe Flacco, 35. And Alt's out 6 weeks, most likely. It's bad inside, and now you have 2 backup tackles, a bad interior. Herbert's getting beat up. Daniels coming back will get this team a little fired up. They didn't play terribly well against the Falcons defensively. I would say a lot of big explosives as well. No chance offensively with Mariota in his second start. That's why they're backups, right? You split 1-1. It's all you can ask for. And I get 3 points here. This will be a very pro Commanders crowd in Los Angeles. Every Commanders fan will be there, except you and Hank, that's in the region. And I get 3 points with the way that I think Washington will play coming off this injury and a beat-up Chargers offensive line. Can your defensive line rush the passer?
Kind of. Last week, I got to say, Penix, they got some good pressure on Penix, and he just hung in there. And he just threw the ball and took a lot of shots. And he good for him. I hadn't seen him do that before. So we'll see. I think last year, Washington was 2-2 at this point. They sort of took off from there. And, you got to think the defense is going to get a little better. Yeah. The thing I was just trying to look for, I know that Ladd McConkey's been kind of quiet this year. Washington's big weakness is like these little dump offs over the middle where there's suddenly 40 yards of green space. And I would assume that this might be the game where he can make some noise. I think this is probably a good over spot if Daniels is playing. 47.5 is pretty high, but I think this is going to be a very fun game that comes down to the last possession if Daniels is on the field. So I don't hate the 3 if we were to take that number, but this isn't a must. I don't think, especially Terry McLaurin probably not going to play would be my guess, and that obviously is not great for Washington.
We have this document that gets put together by Hank, and there's like not a ton of notes in here except for the Commanders. There's like a giant like Sam Cosby note.
Sam Cosby note, yeah. That he's coming back to practice. It's awesome.
Yeah. So we have any other teams have guys coming back to practice. I don't know because it's not in the doc. All right, let's get to the next.
He also
game.
Went to Texas, Sam Cosby. So Hank's really.
Oh, he did. You're right.
On that beat,
the double, the double here. All right, we got 2 primetime games coming up here, Sunday and Monday. Let's start with the Sunday Night Football game. I don't know, man. I don't know what we do here. Nothing.
Yeah, Patriots. This has bounced around a bit. I want to double check it. They're going to Buffalo, and this is either 7.5 or 8.5.
It's 8.5 now. Back to 8.5.
8.5 is what I thought too. Man, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. I don't think New England can keep this one close, but I'm not sure I want to lay the 8.5 with Buffalo either. Do you?
So do we? Who do we tease the Bills with? Who do we tease the Bills with?
Ooh,
the Bills to 2.5. Do we take Tampa up to? Do we want to take Tampa up? Do we take Tampa to 9.5? Or do we take or do we do Panthers out to 7.5?
No. What about the Lions or the Cardinals? We could tease the Cardinals down to 1.5 against Tennessee. We could do that.
Yeah, pass. Okay. Commanders up to 8.5.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think the play is you tease Buffalo. I'm surprised it's still 8.5. That you can still tease it. You take it 2.5, and you just call it a day. That's I think what you do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is moving to 8 in some places. This is just like always bouncing around this number.
New England, to be fair, has played Buffalo tough in Buffalo last couple of years.
Yep.
Yeah, so just like it's been a nemesis for Josh Allen. Now, obviously, Mike Vrabel's a little different than what he's had. But man, Buffalo, look, scored 31 points last week, man. Don't cover that. I'm surprised, man. I thought we would get the 31 points. I didn't think we would get the other part of it, which is the Saints scoring 19.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they'll get up for this one in a way that they didn't for the Saints game. Drake May has covered both times against Josh Allen. I don't know. I don't have a side here. I think this.
I also think too with like the Brock Purdy is out, by the way, for Thursday.
That line just moved to 7.5.
Yeah, I just saw this, by the way, just as we update this as we go. If you listen to this now, you might know already, but he's out, ruled out. This is a Thursday Night Football problem where he probably would be ready for Sunday, but his toe is too sore to play Thursday. That's just the unfortunate nature of Thursday Night Football. Speaking about the Tyreek Hill injury was so gross, dude. Oh,
one of the
worst.
worst.
Knee was like sideways, and dislocated knees are really bad injuries. I was explaining to my kids like what dislocation means, and they thought like your bone. I'm like, it's not your bone. I'm like, you tear everything around your bone. Your bone is like fine, essentially. There's some damage there, but like you tear everything around your bone, and you got to fix all of it. It was nasty. It was a weird injury, and you have to surgery immediately when you have a knee dislocation and stuff. It's so gross. Oh, and he'll never come back the same. I know they said he'll be back for next year. No, I mean maybe there's better recovery methods now, but that was just a gross injury. I dislocated my big toe and my ankle. I know something about, and I mean you had to do a finger in high school, but that is what this one. It's a little crooked. See, crooked. I put it back in the middle of the game. I think if I was older, I just would have had the trainer do it, but it was high school. You don't have a trainer. I just popped it back in like in the middle of the game and kept playing.
Wow.
What do you do? That's high school.
Love
for
that.
You.
Yeah, that's the mark of a champion there.
When I dislocated my big toe, our doctor with the Giants, we were on the field, and the trainer was like, "Let's get Schwartz back. Let's get him an X-ray. Let's take care of it," because my toe was stuck like on top of it. The toe was on top of itself.
Oh.
Like, it was like. I never showed you the picture. You want to see the picture?
You may have. I tend
like
to
on
block
top
out
of itself.
those idiots.
It was on top of itself. It was on top of itself, and the doctor was trying to put it back into place on the field, and it hurt a lot. And I was like, and the trainer was like, "Can we not do this right now, please?" And the doctor wanted to put it back in the worst way, but it was stuck, which actually is a good thing, which means you didn't tear everything if it's stuck. If it moves back into place easily, it means you torn everything around it. But yeah, my toe was like on top of itself for like 20 minutes. It took him a while to get it back into place.
Wow.
Yeah. I had to go back, and I had to go back. I got on the cart, went back to the locker room, went to the X-ray room. It wasn't hurting, and I tried to walk on my heel, and it hurt. They're like, "Don't do it, don't do it." I'm like, it doesn't hurt anymore. Did it? Tons of pain because you turn the bottom of your foot up. So, and then I got back to the locker room, and it was stuck. Which actually means, again, like when you dislocate something, that means the ligaments and tendons around it tear, right? That's why it moves so much, right? And so in this case, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. It was kind of stuck in place, which means that everything didn't really tear. So they had to inject my toe with lidocaine, so I didn't feel anything. And then one guy held my upper leg, one guy held my lower part of my leg, and then one guy tried to put it back in place. It took like a little bit of time to like get it back in place. So it's probably like 20 minutes. It was just stuck out of place.
And this is just like during the game. This is like, you're just in the back of the locker room. It was a preseason game.
Yeah, I heard about the Jets. Yeah, it popped out like the MetLife turf. The Odell, the Malik Neighbors injury. My foot. I was anchoring a bull rush, and my foot like went into the ground, and my toe just like popped out. I thought I broke it. I was like, I broke my toe. The trainer told me I was full of shit. Of course, they're like, "Oh, you're fine." I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not, but okay. And I took my shoe off, and lo and behold, dislocated big toe.
So the MetLife
yeah.
turf, since you brought it up, it's now claimed, the two best Giants receivers in their, I think both in their second year. What are we doing here? Like, is this like an actually, like, this is the worst turf? Like, how is it so bad? Why does this keep happening?
I honestly, Matt, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why the turf is different than other places that don't have as many injuries. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have a great answer for you. I think turf sucks in general. I've made this point many, many times. I'd rather, like, if the Commanders, the Eagles, the Browns, the Packers, the Steelers can all have grass. Penn State has grass that the Oregon just played at. You can have grass in New York.
Baltimore.
No, Buffalo's turf. Buffalo's turf.
Baltimore
went back. They went back to grass though. Forever they had turf. Yeah. Remember, they went back to grass. You can play on grass. And I understand with a multi-purpose stadium with Jets and Giants, I get the turf part of it, right? Like, it's hard to probably, especially if you have a game like Sunday, Monday, like you have like one play Sunday, one plays Monday, which is rare, but does happen. It'd be hard to paint everything out and put the new logos on. I get that. I totally get that type of stuff. But most other places should have grass, in my opinion. But the Panthers going from grass to turf makes no sense, other than obviously you want to have soccer and other events there. But I think grass would solve a lot of these problems, but I'm not in charge. And look, people will point out that Tyreek Hill got hurt on grass. Okay, fair. His injury was a freak injury. Neighbors was trying to jump off the turf and tore his ACL. A little bit different. And so that's where I said it. Do you want me? I'll send you the picture of my toe if you guys want to see it, by the way.
I'm all set. Thank you. You can send it right to Hank.
I'll send it to Hank.
A lot of ACL tears at MetLife over the years, and obviously the Aaron Rodgers Achilles 2 or maybe 3 years ago now. Okay, Monday night game, Chiefs at Jags. Chiefs, everyone thinks they're back, 3.5-point road favorites.
No.
We can't bet on Jacksonville, so this is just a pass.
Correct. You are correct. That is the right answer. This is a pass. The Chiefs look good. I don't know, Matt. They look like a team that was better on offense against a very bad defense. That's the takeaway, right?
Defense.
That's it.
Defense looked very good. Yeah, but
they also have ball. Okay, can we talk about one?
Go ahead.
Can we talk about one Jaguars thing that we were right about? This Travis Hunter thing. Pick a freaking position. Pick a position. Offense or defense. You traded up for this guy to do nothing, to be impactful on neither side of the ball. Do something with him. It makes no sense. I don't understand. Like, I get it. You drafted him and you made this big stink about how he's going to be this great two-way player. How about he's a great one-way player first, Matt? Find one position for him.
How about he's a competent one-way player? Let's not even get to great. Like, he's not having an impact as an offensive player or a defensive player. Not even like a marginal impact.
He played 38 of 68 offensive snaps and 9 defensive snaps. Now, he did have a nice catch, 28-yard catch. But, like, pick a side, man. And Liam Cohen, by the way, is doing a good job. Like, Trevor Lawrence is playing a little bit better. The team obviously buys in. He told Robert Saleh to go F himself, which was pretty funny. But
that was
like,
great.
I was right about Travis Hunter, dude. Like, guy's incredible talent. He can be a good corner and a good wide receiver. He can't be both. Choose a lane for him to be in. Okay, Matt. We'll get to college football here. Let's wrap up this. We'll take a break. We'll get to college football. So we have 2 yeses. We have I think 3 yeses, but we'll just go through them quickly.
Yep.
Carolina plus 1.5 is a yes, correct?
Yeah.
Plus 3.5 is a yes.
That one.
I think we both agreed.
Penn.
I think we both agreed Philly was a yes, right?
Yep.
Okay. We actually don't have a ton then, by the way. Philly minus 3.5. Okay.
I've got Minnesota as a maybe.
We have Minnesota, Vegas, Dallas, and Washington.
Okay, Washington.
I do like Vegas though, plus 7. It's so gross.
Yeah, let's put Vegas in there, and then Dallas is laying 2.5, and I don't hate the Minnesota bet. I know that's a terrible number, but I feel like that one could get really out of hand. Washington's not a bad play. I mean, just getting 3 with Jaden's nice. The Dallas one just feels a little bit fishy to me, to be honest, and a little square.
I guess. Okay, so what's the case? So Probably Minnesota is what if like we have a Carson Wentz game
against that Browns defense.
Yeah. We'll do Commanders.
Let's do it.
I'll follow Commanders +3.
Let's do it.
Okay. Washington +3. Carolina, Tampa Bay, Philly, Vegas, Washington. We have 4 teams getting points. What's the worst that can happen, Matt? All right, we're going to take a quick break here for audio. Video, stay where you are, and we'll come back to some college football. We'll do it next. All right, we're back. Sometimes, Matt, when I do the exit, like the outros to breaks, I've done so much radio that I start to do a radio exit, and I realize like there's actually no radio exit to be done. Like you don't say coming up next on the podcast; it just goes to the next segment. So I'm like, all right, and I just like stop talking. I realize I started the radio exit, and we're not doing radio anymore.
No,
so
you're doing a tease. That's what they
if
call it in the biz.
Yeah, I know, but you don't really tease that. You do a little bit of podcast teasing, but like not a ton. Like you're not. The tease in radio is to get people to stay for the 3.5 minute break or the 5 minute break. The tease, we're just reading an ad or like something's happening for 30 seconds. People are pressing skip and going to what we're saying next. Like I
think they should definitely listen to the ads and 100%, like support all of our sponsors and also tell those sponsors like what a great show this is. Like, rate, review, subscribe. Like I don't want to be a corporate shill here, but like, let's go. Let's make this show take off.
We have not. First of all, 2 things. We have not got enough reviews on iTunes recently. I keep looking. We were stuck at like 187, so we need some reviews, please. Secondly, YouTube shorts are going well. I don't know what that means, Matt, but I appreciate people listening and watching on YouTube.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Thanks for everybody for watching.
My kids watch YouTube shorts. I know that. I wonder if they are watching our clips on YouTube shorts.
Maybe they're the problem. Maybe we need to get them. We need to give them more brain rot Geoff Schwartz content to just make sure that they're locked in.
My wife wants to sponsor, by the way, a Little League team still, for Geoff Schwartz is smarter than you. She mentioned it again last night because my kid was wearing his Little League outfit and it was sponsored by like a law firm or something in town. It would be incredible to have that logo like that on like a kid.
Let's do it.
What's it cost? Team. I think $1,000. I think what it cost.
Well, let's just parlay our picks and make it back.
But my kids won't be in a team next year that has a sponsor though that we can pay for. That's the thing. We have to sponsor a different team. That's not my kids' team. But I mean, do you care? It'd be pretty funny though.
Yeah, I think your kids should be in it, or Gabe's kids. Maybe one day.
Well, Gabe's kids would be. I think Gabe's kids would be more likely at the age they're in to make it happen. But nonetheless, that's not important. What is important, Matt, is that we'll get to the bigger games of the week. I'm giving my picks first. Your Maryland Terrapins are 4-0. They're
Correct.
hosting Washington. Hosting Washington this weekend. They're going to beat Washington this weekend in College Park.
Let's go.
And so I have Maryland plus 6.5. A couple reasons why. So Maryland team, I never actually got to the window with this, but under 4.5 wins is a play I was very much considering this year. And they're 4-0. So I'm glad I didn't make that bet. Last year they were 4-8, and Mike Loxley, the head coach there, at media day this year said essentially, to the point of like, I lost the locker room. That's what he said. He said basically that, I was trying to figure out how to pay guys the right amount. I was trying to figure out who deserves it, who doesn't deserve it. And we lost our way last year in the locker room. And he even threatened to put his desk in the locker room this year to get the culture back to what he wanted.
I love it.
And when Tua's brother was there, they were really good for those couple of years. They were not very good before that and not very good in the year after it. And so I thought it was a pattern of just like when Tua's brother was there, Tuli, right? Is that his last name? First name, I believe?
Talia, yeah.
Talia.
Yeah.
And so I thought they would struggle this year. They have a true freshman quarterback, this 5-star kid, Malik Washington, kind of didn't fit like the rest of the team, to be honest with you, right? Like they've recruited okay, but you just think like that doesn't really match. Buddy, they're playing well, especially offensively. Their numbers aren't great for efficiency-wise. Defensively, they're doing a really good job. Washington lost to Ohio State. Very emotional home game. They were hyping that game up. They weren't very close. Then they travel across country. Last year, they won 0 road games. This year they played one road game at Washington State. It was 31-24 in the third quarter. It was 38-24. Washington was driving down to make that a one-score game, threw a pick six, then fumbled the next drive. Matt, Washington's played 4 games this year: Colorado State, UC Davis, Washington, Ohio State. How many punts have they forced this year in 4 games, you think, their defense? How many punts?
You're talking about Washington or you're talking about Maryland?
Yeah. No, Washington punts forced by Washington's defense.
In 4 games. I mean, it's got to be like, you'd guess probably like, I don't know, 15?
13. That's nothing.
Oof.
That's not Oregon has forced like 33 punts this season so far on defense. I think Washington is sort of, they're fun at quarterback. They got a good running back, got a good wide receiver. That's about it. I think Maryland beats them. I'll take the 6.5 with Maryland for a 5-0 Terrapins team.
Let's go. It'd be a big win. I will say this about Maryland quickly. They have 2 coordinators who are both coordinators at the NFL level. Like Pep Hamilton is their offensive coordinator. Pep Hamilton, he was good. Like Andrew Luck's offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's good. Good coordinator.
So yeah, they've got a really nice coaching staff. So I don't think this is a total fluke. I definitely like the 6.5.
I just look, I appreciate, and I've actually done some radio with Loxley. He's a good dude. I appreciate coaches that are able to adapt and evolve, Matt, right? And he's been coaching a long time, to admit, like, I lost the locker room and I had to fix it. A lot of coaches don't do that, right? My high school football coach, best advice I ever got in my life, he said, don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Best advice. Everyone asked me, like, what's the best? That's what it is, right? Like deep down in your heart and your head, like whether or not you're lying to yourself about something. And he didn't lie to himself, right? He said, this is my evaluation of my team. I got to be better. We have to get better locker room guys. He did it. 4-0. He did it with a true freshman quarterback who played well at Wisconsin on the road, which is really hard to do. So I like them. I like Purdue in the first half against Illinois. I don't know if they can withstand the entire game against Fighting Illini. Purdue's off a bye. They're not terribly good this year as they rebuild on Barry Odom, but they're off a bye. Illinois is off that huge emotional game against USC. And I think this is a great spot just to back Purdue in the first half. Full game really worries me. And I think the first half right now, this number is kind of jumping all over the place. Was it like 10, went to 9.5? Right now on DraftKings, the number is 5.5. I like Purdue plus 5.5 in this spot. Penn State goes to UCLA this weekend. That game will have exactly 12,400 fans, and 12,038 of those will be Penn State fans. But nonetheless, I like Penn State in this game, Matt. It's 24.5 right now. James Franklin, their head coach, can't win big games. What he does do is cover games between 7 and 24 points. I know it's 24.5. He dominates in a spot. UCLA has played, I think, 4 games now, Matt. They've led in zero minutes of 4 games. And that includes Northwestern, New Mexico. They're bad. They fired their head coach. Their OC walked away this week. They fired their DC. Lost to Northwestern last. I think Penn State has a good bounce back spot as well. The last one, this number's not, there's no way this number is what it is right now. Oh, wait.
Tell me.
I'm going to bet on this right now. I've been waiting all week for this to drop. Okay. TCU is favored by 13.5 over Colorado. Was 14.5. I hadn't wagered on it yet. I was hoping it'd come in a little lower. It has come in a little bit lower. Ain't gonna get much lower than this. I don't care if it's 12.5 or 13.5. 13.5 for TCU against Colorado. Colorado is a fade on the road right now. They've covered their last 2 games. And after they scored early against BYU, got 14-0, kind of nothing. TCU is off a 3-turnover loss to Arizona State. They're back at home. I don't want Colorado on the road. They're not terribly coached well. They have end-of-game management situations. I think TCU is able to do whatever they want to them. I'm waiting for this number to come down, Matt. I finally can do it right now on DraftKings. Here we go. 13.5. Bingo. It was 14.5 like for the last 48 hours. Oh, what a stroke of luck there, Matt. How about that?
Love it. To be on air for the move. We love that.
It is in pocket now for this weekend. How about that?
Real quick, the Clemson is going to UNC, and this was supposed to be like a marquee game.
I know.
They booked Ludacris. Did you hear about this?
No, Luda?
UNC booked Ludacris for this, thinking it's probably like a night game. Maybe game day was there. Ludacris is performing before the game. He is performing at 10 a.m. on Saturday because this game went from a marquee game to a, hey, why don't we start this one at noon? I found that to be a funny
ludicrous,
story.
like on the North Carolina campus. Like I could get up there for a free concert.
There you go.
It's only a couple hours away, hour and a half away.
Belichick getting 14 at home against Clemson. What a world.
Oh God, this game is so bad. Luckily for me, my daughter's softball game, I don't have to watch any of it. Oh God, just bad. I did nothing on that one. I do have a few others on some other big games this week. Florida State plus 4.5 at home against Miami. Buddy, this feels way too trappy. Like this number, I hate it so much. Florida State's off that loss to Virginia. Very tough spot on Friday night. Virginia can score a little bit. Miami's off a bye. Miami's looked incredible so far, right? They beat Notre Dame. They beat South Florida, kicked the shell out of South Florida. 4.5 feels so low. Like man, I think Miami's the best team in the country. And it feels such like a trap to take Florida State plus 4.5. I think everyone's taking Florida State this weekend. I would actually lean the other way. I think, or like a Florida State team total under, something like that. This Miami defense is legit. And the team total, like, I'll go under 24.5, I feel like. But this feels like such a giant red flag, a giant trap, man.
Total's 53.5. You want to play the under there?
Miami might score though. Like they're a team, two things. Miami's a team that will just grind you down and then like score late multiple, like Mario Cristobal. This is a recruiting game for him, right? It's in Miami. I mean, it's in Florida State. It's in the state of Florida. Like they'll try to score that extra touchdown, Matt, in the end of the game. That makes sense.
Nice.
So so I think Miami is the right side. But again, it feels like a trick. The last one here, Texas is at Florida. Florida's getting 6.5. I think Texas might lose this game. Our producer should close his ears for this one. The only problem is that how much does Florida give a shit about the rest of their season? Their defense is still playing their defense is so good. They're playing so hard. Their offense is terrible with Lagway. They can't score. 16 points against UCF, 10 against LSU, 7 against Miami. This game screams. The total is 41.5 for a college football game. I think the under is playable till 20.5. No one's going to score in this game. No one's going to score in this game. So look, if it's 41.5, you just take the under in Florida, I should say. Never tease college games, so you wouldn't take Florida out to like 12.5 or nothing, or the total up to 47.5. But Texas offense really concerning, and they're off the bye. Sure, I get it, but to me, this game is all about how much Florida cares about their season right now. If they care, this will be a grind fest for Texas to get any yards and any points. And the other caveat is that Texas could just decide to be good on offense all of a sudden. It's possible. They have the people to do it. At the Swamp feels like a bad place for them to start going. And also, it's a look-ahead spot. They play Oklahoma next week, 2 weeks from now, in Red River shootout. Still a shootout here. Still a shootout for the Geoff Schwartz Morning podcast. And I would look at Florida in this game or the under. I don't have a play in it yet. I told you I bet TCU. I have bet on the Terrapins plus 6.5. I have bet on the first half of Illinois Purdue. I'm waiting to see where Penn State UCLA nets out. Honestly, like I'm 24.5 and 25.5. Matt, to me, is not as important. If I can get to 24, 23.5, I'll wait that one out essentially. But that's what I have in pocket so far. TCU down to 13.5. Let's go.
Good timing. Love that. All right. I think it's time. I think it's time for me to go look up Commanders tickets down in the road at SoFi here.
You should do that. All right, everyone. Please rate, review, subscribe. We love DraftKings. Go check out everything they have to offer. Everything, man. As I told you, I got the teaser set up for Thursday Night Football. Rams in the under. Just got on TCU minus 13.5. Also, last one too. I'll tell you another college play. I have Wisconsin under 13.5 points, by the way, for their game at Michigan. So there you go. All right, Matt. That's it. Talk to you guys on Monday. Take care, everybody.